Good, good, good. Hmm. And this is kind of a brute, but my videos are probably not going to be something that is very soothing. For example, this part here, this type of bag, is probably not soothing. Why I wasn't able to purchase new bags, probably with this type of emblem. So it's quite weird, bizarre, unusual, but it's there. I would consider it to be something that the universe deals with it, and it disappears. So the mom probably would put it away or put it on based on it. So if that's one that was type of that gold, it senses. She probably will based on how she did this here. So time again. Now because of it, I probably was dealing with the aspects of the universe, how it's made up with knots. Easy. So when it is, it reveals it this way, not this way. Right there. Now, any kind of contradictions would refer to a timer. In other words, a timer can reveal that I have spoken for somebody who traveled. So that person would probably have two kids, I suppose, in Guyana, and has to get out of the land of Guyana, like that old president who was soigné in Cuba. Now, when that happens and it cleans that part, I could be Ravi not. Why? It's not a single affair to deal with these type of pub. Now back to this aspect here. This part here could be knots, not on creepy, on that titanium, and I probably because of the findings titanium. So that type of knot could be there and experience it very much. Now, once you're claiming those things, it can cripple you. So you sense that the heavens was very proactive in removing it. And if I have a tendency of feeling those things right now, I suppose it's hatred. So it cannot be washed out. That was too severe, and I'm still encompassing it. I'm still sensing it. I probably do have to get some ice in a minute, so I'll probably get up and do that part there. So that's part of Crippy, which has this on it. Based on that would be something that revealed it as a child in the class. I suppose I was sharpening my pencil with that razor blade. And oftentimes it kind of keeps this angle a little on this level. If it's Guyana, well, it's proving to be true that way. So I would not dispute that part. It becomes quite severe. So it's kind of reveals the mirror of Creepy based that way, and could see knots in it, the glittery parts of just that lady and the kingdom. Now, oftentimes, it's kind of an automatic thing, but for this child, it becomes quite complex. Based on that, I would go straight to something of a eeks. Why I would adjust factor now is because of 5, and the 5 some will deal with a super pearl and possibly this part of what is it? It places on its head. In other words, a kind of scepter, a tiara, and that would conclude it with these type of curvings here. Oftentimes, the back of it is very coppery with pearls in it. So those type of things could be of this nature, And those type of knots killed this part of the home of the child. So oftentimes, if I caught it in a place, Santa Rosa, a type of Motel 6, nobody was able to, so I would only get 1, 2, 3 from that noni, which is not able to be accessible in the United States or anywhere else. Why? They have science it out based on this, I suppose, this part, yes, that there. So when it has been done that way, I have to kind of surrender. And when I surrender, I realize the digger was real. Yes, no, I would realize that it really is surrendering to not go through life based on that birth. See, the birth. So the birth kind of traverse as consequences with calluses. So when the calluses have been secured, time to move on. So I would say they probably were and plays deaf, perhaps. So it demands a little of attention. So, in other words, I cannot get on a plane. Why? I sense that my family is my labor and has to do it that way. And waits not. Senses that it comes with time, and times decided I will not stand still. How would I explain my time? Would just be something of an eye. That's all. Is it complex? The eye, see, even more so than a species. So that could be tapped, you suspect, if you're trying mating privilege entre species with the bodies of man. You have to realize that you cannot sense that animosity yet because of this type of girl, because of this crappy mirror. And if it creates callous desire, well, I suppose it wasn't that their problem, I would suppose. See, it's just that it's easy to fall in that sin when you become that greedy. What are you greedy for? Well, it goes a little too far. So I would say that it's all about her loins. I probably sensed it when I proclaimed. And once I have, what species, they say, seeks the child. When they do, she becomes extremely hertzy, megahertzy, meaning that man seeks to trap themselves. And once they try to do that, the megahertz seeks the child. So the megahertz consist of time based on what it seeks to do. Could be very rambunctious based on the rest of the kingdom. So I would say you will seek evil, but I seem to have a way of saying, just leave me. Oh, that is an atrocious word to say when you are kind of trapped this way. But I suppose men are harsh when it comes to what they want. So I would say this, I guess how I would say, what is the reason for the tie would really be getting to the callous. In other words, that's wrath, I suppose, which cannot be considered a danger for man, or the other aspects that we don't seem to want to test, so that will never allow you to. So this type of mom. And I suppose, I don't know, this is what I bought Dr. Pepper. I did not sense, but I have this going on. So I did rock the toilet a year so as many of the days. So those type of passes of the eye is quite that's it. So I don't know. I do kind of like going back to Guyana, and I like living there, and I like to be bothered, so they may leave her alone when she. But that's your opinion, not mine. So it senses that you have waves going on. So the wave of the mirror stays intact when that time comes. And I suspect that ancestor is calling me for divine, and not divines of the worships of the church. No, up that goes to settle matters that I am not a church goer anymore. Those privileges were revoked, but time has ceased. So when that happens, he has to be punished. And punished not by digging his buttocks. And it will charge him for allowing those things to enter into the area of the espace of the universe. Too atrocious without blood en plus. So it and I will say it does have its consequences for the rest who seeks the hands of the mom. Now, with that being said, I could possibly sense hatred. This cannot be washed out. And senses, I say hello to the Pope of Guyana based on that mirror. So it senses good hands. So it says, you could not have done it yourselves, and you seem to have, and pass these things on based on imitation of a forge, and becomes fatal. And the senses, the correction of it goes back to the heavens and leave nature alone. Leave this majesty of a universe alone. So, with that being said, I will cease to speak today, it seems. I don't know. I did say that my type of, I guess mom is kind of completing that type of diaporama based on that megahertz mom, and means quite a lot to this of her, and means quite a lot to this passage up gone to that ancestor based on I know her note, and then it's imaginable, unimaginable, no imaginable. So do not seek the things. Yes, it becomes foolish and settles in knot. I cannot settle in knot. Even Diana, it's kind of questionable. Where she was born was questionable. If you realize that she had to get on that plane. If I liked that style of airport, then I probably would have used this method. Oh, God. So they're suspecting. Yes, no, I do not know. So, I suppose there's a lot of money involved. Why the girl grew up not and didn't get paid at all, and the rest is history. That type of pronoun verb agreement demands to stay away from that mom's TV and getting the rest. Questionable. What have she lost? That is trespassing, they suspect. Sense the law and order. Thinking about a Russian woman who lived at a higher calling besides herself, feeding things that are hidden becomes quite questionable. I suppose the alarm sound for her and her family sets in. And understand, did the alarm sound for the mom based on this titanium at probably 47 in that mental institution or mental state? Was the mirror there? Probably. So did they take it into matters into their own hands? Probably. How would they do so? Just by knowing she was the knott and killed the major servant, perhaps. So those type of things says it goes as far as Texas, those type of things. So it's cease and surrender. I like that. Why we have to know where we are in this planet is something that tracasing the church. Tracas is not TV, but it tracasts the church to know what you preached. Yes, no. Are we alone or not? That's all.